I am sitting here with the one and only Dr. Rina Jaffe.
Holy
Rina, how you
shit.
doing today?
I already did the thing that you said not to do, which was talk at the same time as you. So yeah, I'm doing great.
That's okay. Good. So, Rina,
Yes,
let's start at the beginning
the beginning.
of how you got to Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So, when did you move down here and why'd you move down?
I moved to North Carolina in 2009 to go to college. I was born and raised in Piscataway, New Jersey, one and only. P-Way, you know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Is that something?
Yeah, P-Way, you know.
Is that what
That's
people
like
say?
our fucking chant, yes. That's what people say.
Very nice. Shout out P-Way.
Exactly. So I came down here because I knew I wanted to go to North Carolina State College of Veterinary Medicine, and it just seemed like the right thing to come down here, do undergrad here, and I have some family here, so it's like I got to leave my crazy parents, but I didn't have to leave family necessarily.
Okay. Now, what were you like when you moved down here? What was Rena like?
Holy shit.
Who was she?
Dude, I don't even know. So that's like what? That's 11 years ago.
How old were you then?
I was 19, 18, 19.
You 30 now?
I am 30 now.
That's old as dirt.
Fuck you. It is quite old. It is quite old. Oh my God. Never thought I would make it here. No, so I don't know. I think I like distinctly remember being scared all the time because like new city, first job because I didn't have a job in high school, and you know in college having to figure out like all the money situation on my own and all of that. So like I just distinctly remember being like scared and anxious a lot, but like having to just fucking move through it.
Scared and anxious more so about being in a new place or more so about the schooling side of things?
I think it was probably more so being in a new place. Like honestly, undergrad wasn't anything. Undergrad was such a disappointment.
What do you mean by that?
Because I expected it. It was like, you have to go to college and you get this great thing that you're going to pursue. And then I went there and I was like, y'all, I've been doing this already. Like, what are we doing different than I was just doing? It just wasn't, I don't know. It wasn't as challenging as I expected it to be, I guess.
And then what was life like once you started vet school?
Oh my God. Okay. So it was, I took 2 years off in between.
What'd you do?
I learned how to be a tech because I had worked at the vet school and the techs would always complain about what a crappy job the students would do. And I was like, not me, y'all. I'm going to take some time. And I just couldn't, like, I couldn't go through the application process while I was in school. It was just, like, way too stressful. And I'm really glad I didn't, actually.
Now, would you recommend taking a year or 2 years to future vet students or aspiring vet students?
Right. Do you just want my, do you want my whole spiel?
Mm-hmm. Give me it.
So I used to, as someone who has always wanted to be a veterinarian, literally I don't know what else I would do with my life to make money if I wasn't doing this. I tend to encourage people to pursue it right up until like undergrad and then the actual application process, because I'm like, bro, don't do it. It costs so much money. Like, it's so stressful. Vet school sucks. Like, and the job, like, it's like this dream job in your head, but it's not always a dream job. I guess that's every job. I don't know, but
it is not every job, believe it or not.
To answer your question more directly,
thank you.
No, I recommend taking time off, period, like in between Well, I guess especially for vet school, in between like undergrad and vet school, because one, I feel like you're just going to get burned out. Like vet school, like shit hits the fan so fast, and it's unlike anything you've done study-wise up until that point.
What do you mean by that?
Just the time and the effort that you have to put in, and what's expected of you is like so much higher than in undergrad. Like I think I hardly interacted with any professors in undergrad. Like it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't a thing. You just took the test and went home. But you can't in vet school. Like you have to be there all the time, and you have to really push yourself harder than ever.
Okay.
So,
well, tell me this, Rina, Dr. Jaffe.
At least 2 years off in between. If not, get a whole nother career first. If there's anything else you want to do that first. And then you can go back to vet school. They literally have seats for like the untraditional student that has had time off or is doing a second career. And that also gives you a chance to make some money and maybe buy a house before you start school.
Okay. That's really good. Now, thinking back to when you first started vet school and as you were going through, you said the shit hits the fan pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What was the first time after you had realized, okay, this is going to be unlike anything I've ever done? What's the first time when doubt really crept into your mind? When you really thought, okay, I don't know if this is for me. Did that ever happen? And if it did, tell me about it.
So I think the answer I want to give you is kind of not necessarily the one you're looking for.
I'm not looking for anything.
Fair enough. There is a moment, and for a lot of people, it's a lot of moments where like your imposter syndrome kicks in, and you're literally sitting in class like somebody's gonna walk through the door and tell me, sorry, we messed up, you're not supposed to be here. And so I think like everybody went through that. So there's just this whole like, this is the biggest thing I've ever tried to achieve in my life, and like I got accepted. I don't even know how that happened, and now I'm here, and any minute someone's gonna come and say, you actually don't belong here, sorry, you have to go. So I think a lot of vet students go through that. I think a lot of like people in general deal with that idea of, I'm not actually good enough for this, I'm not actually supposed to be here. So I'd say pretty immediately it was like, oh, how are we going to do this? But I think also too, like that first anatomy lab, like the first time that you step into anatomy and they're like, okay, dissect down to this nerve. And you're like, I don't know what a nerve looks like. Was I supposed to read this ahead at home last night? I mean, probably, but I didn't. But then you just figure it out. And we all come together and learn as a group.
So you said you think the thoughts that come in, thoughts like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, or this seems very daunting, right? So now with a couple years, has it been a couple years?
It has been a couple years.
Now with a couple years to look back and reflect, how did you get through?
I thought you said I wasn't going to cry. Okay, so the only way that you get through vet school is with the help of your classmates and your mentors. I feel like there are people who try to be like that one person warrior, and they don't need help from anybody and they can do anything, without assistance, but it's just like not true. Even stupid shit, like I would always keep nail polish remover in my locker because you couldn't do surgery with nail polish on. Like you're not supposed to, you can't. So like things like that where it's just like, hey, if you need this at any time, hit me up, I've got it, it's on campus. And just like having people help you study. One person gets a subject better than somebody else does, and like, hey, can you talk me through this? And then just like being there for each other, because it is really hard, and it's not like nobody's there to like try it out. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna give this a shot and see how I feel about it. Pretty much everybody there is like, this is a passion, and they're there with this purpose. And then it's like, you think it's going to be glorious, but it kind of sucks. It's just hard. So you need all the people around you. It's the only reason I say I would ever go back. Like, I would never go back unless it was to spend another 4 years with my class. I miss them very much.
Very nice. So I had the privilege, of course, of being at your graduation.
Shit. Yeah, you did.
Where you did get the loudest applause of any doctor.
I don't know.
Let me tell you, I know, because I was there.
Oh, man.
And it happened
just
like that.
Really braggy. Like, I know I joke about it with you, and I, like, obviously it's a pride point for me, but having it be recorded for posterity, like, it feels really braggy.
Well, let me tell you this. Coming off of your final 2 years to get to that point, you had some struggles with what you were doing, with the university. Talk to me a little bit about your last couple of years, some of the hurdles that you faced getting to that point at graduation, and why, those are the reasons why you received, of course, the loudest applause. Amongst other reasons.
Miss Congeniality, bitches, that's me.
That's
right. So I think I couldn't even begin to, like, list all of my vet school struggles. Like, if we just talked academically, I think that would be its own thing.
Talk to me about the turtle team.
Talk
to me about the.
I don't want to talk about turtle team.
Talk to me about the turtle team or something related. That
okay.
type of hurdle that you had to, that type of punch you had to roll with.
I think. Oh man. So, well, there's there's the academics, and it's kind of easy to fail out of vet school. And so in my clinical year, I was really close to, you can't get a certain number of D's. And if you get D's, you get kicked out. And there was this whole, like, you could marginally pass a rotation, which means you still pass, but marginally, obviously, right? And then even some professors were like, wait, that equals a D on your, like, transcript? We didn't know that. So it was just kind of this weird way that it was all organized, like, grade-wise. But it was hard. Clinics itself is awful, right? It's like a year of you doing a bunch of work, not really knowing anything, and then being evaluated.
How long are those rotations?
2 weeks, unless you're on medicine, which is 4. Some of them go longer, but on average 2 weeks. And so it was like a mantra, like, I can do anything for 2 weeks. I can do anything for 2 weeks. So, but I guess more specifically to answer your question, I didn't think we were going to talk about this today, I swear. I wasn't emotionally prepared for it. So I spent a lot of time volunteering with the turtle rescue team at NC State, which is just, honestly, it became like a sanctuary for a lot of students and a great way to practice exotic animal medicine, and just to kind of escape from the tediousness of vet school in general. But it's turtle rescue team in Raleigh, North Carolina. They're the best if you find a wild injured turtle, snake, any reptile or amphibian, herptile. They'll take it, care for it if it can be saved, and then release it back where it was found. So I spent a lot of time with them. I was outreach coordinator, so I would go to schools in the area and talk to kids about turtles. It was the best. Oh, I miss it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what about him? What about him?
What about?
So you were gonna do
my first year out, like my internship.
Correct.
I was gonna be the first turtle rescue team intern, and I try not to dwell on it. Here we are
dwelling on it.
Fucking A, man. So yeah, no, I like all the people behind the scenes at Turtle Team and all the professors are like huge mentors of mine, and had like all 4 years I'm like, guys, like I will work as an intern for like minimal money. I don't even care. I just want to be here and work with the students and work with the turtles. And so the funding had come together to get an internship going, and I was going to be the first intern, which was really exciting. Unfortunately, my invitation to be an intern was rescinded after a series of parking infractions and having my car be booted in a school parking lot a couple of times. And literally it was like, they didn't feel that I was gonna fit with their core values. That's what it was. I didn't fit with their core values.
And that's what state said, or the turtle team had said?
State said. So everybody at turtle team was like fighting to try to, keep me my job. And like staff and students were all writing like letters of, what's that called? When you...
Recommendation?
No, when you like...
Character reference?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of character references that got sent to the dean of students. But it, alas, did not work out that way, and it ended up being okay.
Which is why I bring it up.
Is that why I bring it up?
So we
can work through it.
You have received the news that your internship is canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has tried to do everything they can, sent the letters in. You realize, okay, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
What happens next for you from there?
Well, I'm still in clinics. I was on orthopedic surgery rotation, which is it's an intense rotation, but it could be worse. Like medicine, obviously, is the most intense rotation. But I was on orthopedic surgery. I just kind of dove into it and just tried to focus on graduating and didn't even worry about trying to find a job. I was just like, screw this. We need to get through. So I guess I mourned it, and I still do to this day. But yeah, I just kind of put my head down and was like, I just need to fucking graduate. So.
And once you graduated, how long did you have in between graduation and when you started working?
Ooh, so when do we graduate? We graduate in May, 2 months. It was 2 months, 2.5 months.
How easy is it for a new doctor of veterinary medicine to get a job in their desired specialty within vet med?
I'm just trying not to laugh in the middle of you asking that question. So it really depends. I think that most people, I don't know if most, but you've got this group of kids, right? A certain amount of them know they want to be like a neurosurgeon. So they've got 5 more years of studying before they can do that. 4 internship and then a residency. So there's a lot of people that were in my class that graduated with me 2 years ago that still aren't really doing what they want to be doing.
So challenging.
Yeah, there's a lot of additional training.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I graduate. I'm a vet now.
Yes.
I want to
Congratulations.
Thank you. A lot of hard work. I want to be an exotic animal vet.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood I'll find the job I want right out of school?
Probably not very likely, because
tell me what it'll take to get there.
For an exotic animal vet, I play devil's advocate with this one because I always say it just takes you wanting to see the animals and being willing to see those different species, because people already have them and those people are already bringing their dogs and cats to your practice. And if you open it up to I'll take a look at your guinea pig, we'll figure it out, then, that could be relatively easy. If I went into a practice that didn't have an exotic animal arm at all and wanted that kind of side to the practice, but there was absolutely no mentorship because it would just be me. That I got lucky with, honestly, because my boss was just like, I don't care, just figure it out on your own. It was like daunting, I guess, at first. But no, I think that honestly, if you ask any vet that's like found their dream job or, you know, really loves what they're doing, hopefully they do. It's always fun to ask them what they wanted to do initially or what they thought they were going to do, because so many things change. Like I have a buddy who I was certain was going to be doing exotic animal, like crazy exotic animal care, and he's doing at-home euthanasias right now exclusively and like loves it.
Okay.
So it's hard.
Now, before we move on, because I want to talk to you a little bit about the job that you have just finished up and what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Before we get there, I want you to take a second and shout out any of your mentors or professors at State that you want to get on here, but you have to do it quick. You can't fuck around, Rina. I know you like take a long time.
Jesus H. Christ.
You just got to shout them out. Let's
Fucking
go.
A. Dr. Gregory Aldo Lubart, Dr. Tara Harrison, there goes my ums. Dr. Whitehead, Chelsea Van Hatten, basically anyone from the Exotic Animal Medical Service at NC State, like Dr. Jeff Applegate, Dr. Greg Scott, Craig Harms, Dr. Craig Harms, pretty much all of those people.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to take just a couple minutes. I want you to talk to me about the job you just completed, what it was like, your first job out of college. Tell me about, you know, the pros and cons, what you learned, and then we'll get to what's next.
Okay. So my first job was a small animal and exotic animal associate veterinarian at this pretty small practice. I was working part-time. For me, it was like 30 hours a week. It was really daunting at first, especially because there was very little mentorship, and I think that's another thing that's hard, period, for, you know, your first year out, because you need that mentorship. People think that you just kind of come out of clinics ready to work, but clinics, you know, it's kind of your gold standard, and then you have to figure out how to operate across the entire spectrum of medicine. A lot of people don't want or don't have the time to mentor a first year, and some really enjoy it, and I definitely think there's a benefit there because you can mold them however you want them to be, but that's just my personal opinion. So there was very little mentorship. I was freaking out all the time. For about 3 weeks. My first 3 weeks, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Why are these people even paying me to see their pets? This is absolutely insane. And then after that, I just kind of kept getting better at it. Yeah.
And how long were you at this job? Because you
just short of 2 years.
Just short of 2 years.
Yeah.
And now, why did you stop?
I stopped because I will hopefully, in the next month or less, be traveling to the Maldives to spend 6 months out there to help jumpstart a veterinary internship program at a wildlife marine rescue center, mostly dealing with sea turtles.
Very cool.
I know.
Very cool. Now, what made you want to go to the Maldives?
Well, it's beautiful, I assume. I've seen very pretty pictures. And they said, hey, we need a vet to work with sea turtles. Come live in paradise for 6 months. And I said, that sounds like not such a bad situation. Maybe we should go check this out. So honestly, like, I applied for it. I was like, I'm not going to get this job. Like, I know other people who would, you know, potentially be in the pool of applicants. Like, I'm not going to get it. But yeah, I guess I did. So I guess it was a good thing I applied.
Good thing you applied. So you'll leave sometime in August.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be there this weekend. I'm supposed to be getting on a plane tomorrow.
Yeah, why are you not there? Why are you not going there tomorrow?
It's just, well, I was supposed to be there like last year in November. COVID messed the whole world up. And now I'm just waiting on paperwork, essentially. Just a business visa. And I still have a lot of paperwork to do to be able to practice medicine while I'm there. So just waiting on paperwork so I can buy a plane ticket and get out of here.
Very nice. And that will be the first place you live that's not down here in Raleigh, North Carolina in the last 11 years.
Shoot, yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
Jeez. That's a good point.
Now, we're going to switch gears a little bit here, okay? We've talked about some really good stuff. You've been kind enough to really give us the ins and outs of your time down here, which has been good. What I would like for you to do now is we're going to circle back to some of the stuff that you brought up earlier.
Okay.
All right? If you don't want to talk about it, just say pass.
Oh, yeah?
And then I'll rephrase it.
Now I can pass?
I'll rephrase the question.
Oh, my God.
What would you have even passed on before?
What? I'm like, why?
All those questions about the turtle team.
Why do we need to talk about turtle team at all?
That's right. So
it's like, oh, it still hurts. It still hurts.
You said you moved down to the South.
Yeah.
You had some family around.
Mm-hmm.
But you were able to get away from your crazy family back home.
Yes.
Okay.
My crazy immediate family.
Your crazy immediate family. Tell us a little bit about your immediate family, if you would like.
Okay, sure. I guess we'll go with the short version. No, don't go with the short version? Oh my God. Okay. I love my mother. I love her so much. She's the only reason I have anything good within me at all. My dad's kind of an asshole. And we'll just leave that there. God, I'm never going to send this to him to listen. Which means I probably shouldn't send it to my mother either.
We'll just beep out everything after I love my
mom.
We'll
just bleep out. I love my mom.
Beep. For the next 20 seconds.
So yeah, I love my mother. She has the ability to essentially do anything.
Tell us about her as if we've never met her. Tell me about her.
As if you've never met her. She's turning into kind of the crazy cat lady who is smoking cigarettes in the corner and muttering to herself. That's where we are now. It's been an interesting journey to get to that point. But yeah.
Okay. And so you have a sibling?
I do.
What role has your sibling played in your life?
Oh man, we pretty much hated each other until I moved out of the house. She's like 4 years younger than me. So it was always, and we both had a very unusual childhood, right? So like we're all like 14. We're partying at my house like every weekend, getting high, just like drinking alcohol, even though we weren't supposed to have alcohol at the house because my mom is an alcoholic, and it was always like, you can smoke pot, but don't get arrested, don't get in trouble, do it here so we know you're safe kind of thing. So it became like the party house. So if you think like we're all 14, 15, my sister is like 10. Yeah, and just wants to hang out with us and, be with the cool kids. We obviously didn't want her to hang out with us because we were a bunch of fucking older assholes and she was a crazy kid. So it was kind of like tumultuous growing up, but we've become really close, I think. And
that's nice.
She's more of a hippie now than I ever was. I was such a hippie growing up, and she is like so much more that person. She
does seem to be changing a lot. Even when I first met her, I first met your sister because she's the one that reached out to me for training for you, which was really, really nice of her, of course.
Shout out Sarah Jaffe.
Shout out. Sarah J, very nice.
Oh, man.
Kind sister.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel comfortable sharing any stories that would give us a better idea of your home life?
Sure. Do you have a specific...
I don't have anything. I want you to say whatever you want.
So, Like, okay.
So if we wanted to get a feel, for what life was like around that age, 14, 15, your sister's 10, 11, what's going on, mom, dad, how are things,
Oh my God.
What shaped you to be the person you are now?
Oh my God. I try not to think about it.
Trauma, repressed.
I can't claim trauma, right? Like, my sister and I, we always had this outlook of, like, at least we were never really beat. Like, there was, I can't even call it physical abuse, but it was always, like, if we got into an argument, if there was an argument, my dad's like this big guy, and he knows how to throw his weight around, and so, like, corner you or get you down on the ground and just fucking stand over you and fucking, like, holler at you, scream at you, whatever, just essentially scare you more than anything. But we always had this perspective of, like, at least we don't get crazy beat, at least we were never sexually assaulted, like, at least we still have a house. Like, we always kind of made that our mantra. So yeah, my dad, I don't think he probably should have never had kids. He doesn't have the patience for it. And just he doesn't have the patience. He doesn't have that tenderness. Like, there's not really a tenderness there. It's very weird. I don't know, his life was hard too, I guess, growing up. But so it just wasn't, like, I lived there for 18 years. We didn't really say I love you. Like, that's not the dialogue that him and I had. We didn't really talk, period. It went from, like, him not wanting to go to my extracurricular activities, like orchestra, things like that. It went from him not wanting to go to me not asking him, and then him being, like, offended that I wouldn't ask him. So he was just not a source of, like, love and kindness and empathy and, like, all those things you're supposed to learn, I guess, to be a emotionally connected person.
Now, where do you feel like you learned that stuff from?
So it's all from mom, right? Because she's, like, the complete opposite side of the spectrum. She's like, you have to feel everything around you. You talk to the trees and don't vacuum up spiders because they're going to choke and die a horrible death in your dusty vacuum bag. And it just this ability to empathize with literally anything. Like, I can attribute an emotional connection with literally, I'm already in love with this stool. We just met, and this 60s bar stool is amazing.
What do you like about it?
They don't make them like that no more. I'm gonna pee my pants, I'm sorry. Can't laugh too hard. It's beautiful. It stood the test of time.
It's true.
It's seen some shit, man.
That's true. So, Rina, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Having gone through all that, what's your relationship like with your parents nowadays?
Oh my God. I didn't realize this was going to be therapy, bro. We should have invited Lori to come sit down and talk with us.
Let's shout out Lori.
Oh my God. Lori Delia Family Counseling and Solutions. She's my therapist.
Shout out Lori. What's up?
I love her so much. I just want to, in Black Mirror where they, like, replicated consciousness and made it really creepy, but I want to replicate her consciousness and keep it with me at all times. I just feel like I need her with me always. She's really insightful, really good at her job. Yeah.
Okay. Let the record show. I think that's weird. So.
Oh shit.
Sure.
What was the question?
What's the relationship like with your parents?
With my parents now.
Mm-hmm. And be as general as you want.
Yeah, you telling me now to be general and not be specific?
I'm just giving you a little helpful tidbits.
You need directions.
Just giving you helpful tidbits.
Okay, so my parents are still married, still living in the same house, even though they hate each other. They told me they were getting a divorce when I was like 13. So we're talking about almost 10 years ago.
13
right?
going on 30, no.
Like almost
17.
20 years. almost 20 years ago. But that never happened. And we're all at the point where it's like, you guys would probably, like, we're not sure how happy either of them can be, period. Whatever, how happy can any of us be, I don't know. But we're pretty sure they'd all be happier separate from each other. They don't enhance each other's lives really at all. So they still live together. It's great. They love to bitch about each other. And, you know, my dad's like so proud of me. He's like always like so proud of you, kiddo. Now he tries to say I love you all the time, and it's really weird for me. It's just weird. I say it on like Father's Day. I make sure I got to say I love you on Father's Day because, you know, what kind of a piece of shit would I be?
He can hold on to it for the next year. Till the next Father's Day, until his birthday. Yeah.
Oh my God. So there's that. And then my mom is, you know, just kind of this like woman who was beautiful and full with potential and could have literally done anything. And now she's kind of stuck in what anyone else would perceive as a hoarding situation, surrounded by junk. Not necessarily just her collecting. It's kind of a family issue, turns out. But just kind of like, don't point at me.
I'm pointing at Rina right now. She talks
it's
about
not my fault. Issue. It's genetic. So yeah, she's just kind of stuck. Yeah.
Sure.
And then my little sister is out there fucking kicking ass, trying to figure out how to be an adult, and she's getting her master's right now in psychology, and she's actually was looking into buying a house. I couldn't be more proud. That's some crazy shit.
Very cool.
So yeah.
So, let me ask you this, Rina. Once you come back from the Maldives, what's next for you think? Of course, that could change in the next 6 months, but what are you thinking? Where's life going to take you?
Everybody's been asking me this question, and my answer has been I have no idea, because I really don't. I have set aside money that if I wanted to start my own mobile practice, I could, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. This is one of my favorite people is Dr. Sam Young at the Greensboro Science Center. I recommend it to literally everybody. It's the best place ever. But he said he doesn't recommend starting a business if you have any kind of depression. And I was like, oh, maybe that, you know, your face, you're like, nah, kid, just do whatever you want to do.
I didn't even need to say it.
It's hard. I've talked to a couple people who have done it, and it becomes your life, but then like your work becomes your life, and it turns into your life's work, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea.
Well, you're in crypto now, so you probably don't have to worry about money.
By the time I get back, I'm going to be so rich. So rich. I have money set aside that I have to put into it too, actually.
Well, what cryptos are you in now?
Right now, hold on, I have to, what? BNB and something with an ALO. I would have to literally look it up. Algorand.
Oh, like, you're in BNB and Algorand. That's pretty legit. That's pretty legit. Very nice.
Bam. I'm making money as we speak.
Algorand, auto staking. Wow. Auto staking, auto compounding. Very good. Very, very good.
Indeed.
Now, let's talk about the South, Rina.
The South.
The South.
Sure.
You like it down here?
I do like it down here.
She's looking at the third guy in the room right now, a southern gentleman also by the name of
all
Max.
The way, yeah.
And we are about to shit on the South, so get ready.
Are we about to shit on the South?
No, I'm just busting Max's chops. He's flicking us off. I think we've all flicked each other off a good amount since the interview.
So far.
Since the interview has begun.
So far today.
So much better than the last casting couch you had me.
Oh yeah? I'm glad that this is better. Glad I can be entertaining. If nothing else, I strive for that.
That's right.
Which is why when I come back, I'm going to quit being a doctor and I'm going to try to do stand-up comedy like full time. I'm going to spend 10 years just with my face to the grindstone.
I think that's tongue-in-cheek. We're
trying to be a stand-up comedian. I watch too much Joe Rogan. What was the question? The South. I love it because it's really chill. It's so much more chill than Jersey. It took me like years to lose my road rage because I was always rushing everywhere, always raging on people. Like, it took me years and years to lose it. And it's just there's kind of a Southern groove that you fall into. Everybody's just a little more chill. So much so, like, when I go back up to Jersey, I am like the shittiest driver. I'm the one who's going to cause accidents because I'm just like the worst. But yeah, that was something that I really appreciated moving down here. And I liked how I could go to like the grocery store. Like, I worked at the grocery store, right? And so I could like pick out pig farmers, not just because of the smell, because I'm very intimate with the pig farm smell. I love it. I really do. But like, you could actually see like agricultural producers just walking around the grocery store. And I don't know, I was impressionable in 19 and I thought that was fucking awesome.
Okay, very nice. Now, what do you feel about your hometown Piscataway when you go back in Jersey?
Oh man, so much nostalgia.
Yeah, what was some fun stuff you used to do back then?
Oh man, what? Shout out to 8 on the Break in Dunellen, New Jersey. The place raised me. And
that's the arcade?
That's the arcade.
8, will you say it again, the name?
8 on the Break.
Shout out 8 on the Break.
Like, when you get the 8 ball on the break, you win. You got it.
Very cool.
It's been around for, like, the building's like 100 years old. It's been around forever. It was just a billiard hall and then turned into this, like, crazy, crazy futuristic arcade place. Has the coolest collection of games. Probably worth more than the building itself. So
nice. So what, you would go back now, what, just for family stuff?
I try not to. I try to go back as little as possible. I haven't been to Jersey since clinical year, so it's been at least 3 years since I've been to Jersey. Yeah, it's just, it's not necessarily enjoyable hanging out with family. If I could just go and like walk around the high school for a day and just say hi to old professors and talk to high schoolers about what their life's going to be like in 10 years. Oh my God, I would do that all day.
You heard that, Piscataway High?
But it was like part of my plan was to go back and try to be a teacher there, which was insane. I don't know what I was thinking, and I still love the idea.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty much just places and people that I grew up with that I like the idea of visiting, but I try to not go there.
Okay.
As much as possible.
I have a few more things I want to ask, but I want to give you a chance to talk about anything you want to talk about. Do you have anything you want to make sure gets out there? Anything you want to say?
Anything I want to say.
What do you want people to know?
What do I want people to know?
You want people to know to call you if there's a stray cat that needs being spayed or neutered.
No, don't call me.
Right? Well, who do they call?
They need to find a trap, neuter, release program and call them.
So someone would Google trap, neuter, release.
Sure. TNR.
That's actionable steps.
There you go. Wait, didn't you like study journalism?
What are you talking about? I am a personal trainer.
I could have sworn you studied journalism. That degree is getting put to use.
Right now.
Right now.
As we speak. I'll shout out some people. Shout out Ithaca College. Shout out Professor James Rada. That's my boy. Kept me in the game as long as he did.
Oh my
Shout
God.
out Mead Loop. Journalism professor got me on my start.
Yeah.
Freshman, sophomore year. And shout out all the professors who put up for me, mess around in class once I realized I didn't want to be a journalist. And I just wanted to lift weights and eat and show other people how to lift weights.
It's a beautiful story.
It's a beautiful existence, really.
It really is.
Now, for the heavy hitting stuff.
Heavy hitting. Damn,
Joe Rogan listens to this.
No, he doesn't.
So if you, he listens to this. So if you could tell Joe Rogan one thing, what would you tell him?
What?
Because he'll hear it, and I'll let you know what he says in response.
Stay inspirational, bro. Be yourself. Don't ever change. He's got it. He's all he's been doing forever. So.
But what would you want to tell him about you? What would
about
you
me?
know about you? What would make him proud?
What would make him proud?
Besides the weights you crush when we
I would
train.
say it's the weights I crush. That's it. That's all he needs to know.
Very good.
I'm really strong now.
Okay. So you see Joe Rogan. He says, Rina, what do you got to say to me? You say, I'm really strong now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I like
that's
it.
What I say.
He would probably say, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are strong.
He'd be like, all right, kid.
Very nice. So.
You're freaking stupid.
I'll just let this car go by. Quick. We are about to go lift some weights.
Yes. I can't freaking wait.
We're about to go hit the log.
Yes.
Tell us about the log.
The log. We
What is
lift it.
What is it?
It's this big bar that is awkwardly shaped, and you hold it different, and it's hard to make it get up in the air.
Very good. I'll make sure I attach a picture of the log.
What? You've got so many videos of us lifting it. Just throw that in there.
Yeah, it'll be easy.
Bam.
Very good. Dr. J, this has been a pleasure.
Hey.
This has been a pleasure.
We literally didn't talk about anything I thought we were going to talk about.
Well, that's how it goes, you know?
Yeah.
I got to keep you on your toes.
Okay.
After all, this is a podcast that doesn't have a name, so anything can happen. But Rina, it really it's been a true pleasure training you, hanging out with you, spending a lot of time, having some fun. Mm-hmm. Thank you for all your help around my yard. We got some quality work done just these last couple months.
We did a number on.
And I'm happy to hear a little bit about your past, and of course, we wish you nothing but the best in the future as you go to the Maldives and beyond. So we'll make sure to sit down once you start your mobile clinic or whatever you do when the time comes, and we'll touch base, see how things are going.
Oh my God, you're such a fucking dork. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Thanks. What?
Thank you very much.
Is that my outro?
And with that, we are signing off.